Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid, and we're going to be jumping back into our game with early age Yomi. It is turn 25 in the ring world. And we have our elf-hating message to start off. This actually is commenting on me. Why must all Yomi blesses involve fire, shock, res, regen, and awe? It's a good question. Why must all elf blesses be horrible mishmash of non-incarnate blesses? Find out this and more tonight at 8 with Anderson Cooper. Elfson Cooper. Ah, very clever. Yeah, I think the fire shock resistance and regen are super key. I'm actually less stoked on the awe. I don't know. I think I've been a little underimpressed with awe. It does synergize well with fear, but there's probably better things. It is nice having high fire. That's about all I can say. Okay, so we got a Skull Mentor in Alquil, so you can see our research machine is starting to lift up off the ground. Taking Drain, we definitely need to focus on items, especially given that we have kind of crappy researchers to start with. And items are not really penalized by anything else your nation has. So, we got some fire gems, some earth gems, another skull mentor, so that's 2 skull mentors. We got a cavern tomb. I think this is a death 1 site. Yeah. We searched and we only found 1 site this turn, so a big catastrophe when you only find one site. At least it feels that way this game. Okay, we got this back. We also raided a province here. You can see our bandit leader raided Griffin Rock. And I actually didn't know this. I thought the raid took place before combat, but it turns out after combat, but it turns out it takes place before combat, because you can see here, we're going to attack this. Now, I had a hard time figuring out how to move this guy last episode, because I'm like, well, there's so many different places I could go, and I ended up deciding to make an effort to rush for his throne. For his cap, because that would hopefully force him into more deterministic moves. The only problem is I didn't really test how this guy would do against an army of giants. He was more designed to kill super combatants, which is... If you're not getting the flavor for this so far, super combatants, you can treat them like a general purpose tool, but if you're a general purpose tool, a lot of times you're going to get kind of cracked by a special purpose tool. So this is a special purpose tool, and it's here for the wrong purpose. Importantly, I didn't cast Skeletal Body, which is really, really important. It is going to halve the damage from these giants, and that's going to make all a lot more effective. And the longer these guys last, the more my fear is probably going to work. So, yeah. The Skeletal Body is huge here. It basically is going to double the effectiveness of my regeneration. Yeah. But these guys hit, as you can see, quite hard. And then having a few of these dudes mixed in, they're going to do a lot to actually lower my defense. With higher harass values, like you see, I'm getting harassed pretty far down. It's going to get a lot worse than that, though. Okay, and we're taking big hits. Or no, that was the imp. Our protection's pretty high, 33. Normally 33 would be enough, but versus giants, we need to be a bit higher. And we need Skeletal Body, because there's still, like, you can see you just hit through for 19, I think. Not sure. 19 might have been on an imp. Yeah, 5, 8. Those 5 and 8s were on me. So cutting those down to half, it would have been 3 and 4. And that's basically keeping pace with my regeneration. They've also done a good job of putting crap right here in front of me and having no giants there. So I'm only hitting crap, I'm not hitting any of the valuable stuff with my very valuable killy stuff. Or my items that are very good at killing valuable stuff. So, yeah, this guy's basically gonna get murdered here. We're gonna go ahead and pick up the game speed a little. And yeah, we kind of built up to this moment where we thought we were gonna kill this super combatant, and then I end up partially, I think it was a mistake to move him down here. But if I cast Skeletal Body, I think there's actually a decent chance I would have won that fight. But instead I did something super valuable like Resist Cold, which has no value unless his Pretender God's going to be there. Okay, was that this one? That was. We have another battle here where I think we're raiding this province also. Unfortunately, oh no, there's nobody here. We're probably going to kill this. So this was a super low commitment attack to take back some land. This is one thing that really changes how a war goes, is being able to do low commitment attacks which you can afford to lose to take back land which was raided from you. Like, winning the raiding war is such a big part. So even though we're actually kind of like losing fights versus Femoria right now, we're winning the raiding war. Okay, he is now combined forces in an attack. He's got this guy doing Mist Form, this guy doing Mist Form, this guy doing Vine Shield shenanigans. Yeah, and they're just gonna wreck that PD. I believe that was Alanka's. And then down here in Gentle Woods, we are raiding. This is our immortal hero. I haven't talked much about him. He's not too remarkable except for the fact that he's immortal. He's also ethereal, which is nice. He's basically a ghost general that's immortal. I'm not sure if there's any other important differences here, but... And that's nice. I mean, ghost generals are nice units, but... and he does have very high leadership and undead leadership, so he's probably my best general. Which is kind of cool, because you can use him for lower commitment attacks, where you don't really care if he dies, but you can still bring in, some troops and have him get that morale bonus. You're not giving him a morale bonus, dude? I wonder what the morale on these guys is. It's only +1? Shouldn't he be giving more than that? +2? Oh, it's from the Undisciplined. Okay. So that's that. Some events. Get some extra income. Little bad event. Misfortune. Uh-oh, we don't like that. A little bad event. And then we found a magic site here. This was an iron mine, which kind of sucks actually, but I will not be using that at all. So we didn't get any good events. In fact, we got some bad events. So this is the other side of luck, where sometimes it doesn't go your way. But it's got to do a lot more of this if it wants me to hate on luck this game. So we also find a sneaky scout from Roos. What else? We've started to destroy the walls here, but we have not made too much progress. So, anyway, we've got some problems. One of the problems we've got is that our anti-super combatant dude died, so now we have no way of killing their super combatant. And if we can't kill that super combatant, then we can't use armies, because his super combatant can solo our armies. So it's like, okay, mass retreat again. I mean, if I had moved here, I don't know if I would have won this. In fact, I probably wouldn't have. There's too many giants. And I need to remember, if I go in versus giants, I really need a skeletal body. So, what are we going to do? Well, we've got a bunch of dudes on top of here. We're going to pull this guy out. I don't want him to die. I don't particularly want my little demon to die either. This guy's going to sit here and preach. I'm hoping his Pretender God comes here, in which case we'll Spirit Curse him. These guys are going to move over here and try to take this back from them. And this will do two things. One is if he's blood hunting, which is possible, because he's always trying to get his little blood slaves we will make him use them, which would be nice. The second thing that is possible is he moves on to attack me somewhere else. I think that's probably more likely. If he does that, we have a pretty good chance of taking this province back. It's also possible he moves somebody from this province over here, in which case they'll kill these guys, and then it's kind of whatever. I don't really care. And I'm not saying that like a little teenager. This is just a very low commitment attack. Down here, we are going to be continuing to raid this area. I want to go ahead and destroy... This is a resource-rich area, so it's going to be giving a lot of resources to their cap, and I believe as the unrest builds up, it should decrease the amount of resources available in addition to the income. So we do want to do that, and then eventually when we come through here and attack, which hopefully we can do, even though we're fudging things up, we'll have nice and high unrest for us. And you can see I'm not trying to Oh, where is this guy raiding? Oh no, we're raiding over here. This guy's raiding this way, actually, because we already did raid this. This one's probably at like 70 or 80 unrest. This one, I don't think the unrest is very high. I don't know if we can tell from this. Do we have anybody who's... No, we don't really. Okay. If we had somebody with chaos power, we could see what the unrest was. But, okay, so this guy's coming to attack this province, and this guy's going to raid this province. And it's possible they both show up if this guy's there. I don't know if that's actually a very smart move, but whatever, it's what we did. This guy's coming down here just to ping it. He's got 1 HP left, so he is going to die. So he's going to die like a good Bakemono and charge into battle with 1 HP. And by charge into battle, I mean like carefully observe the battle from the sidelines and then run into battle. Anyway, what more can we ask from a mere Bakemono? We're going to... This is where we found our Alchemist Guild, which is pretty sweet. I do want to get... I put Death Gems on this scout who obviously got diseased already. We're going to try to shuttle them up here and give them to this Ghost General. He will also be able to do Spirit Curse. And I can put him into some kind of weird situations because he's immortal. I don't really care necessarily if he dies. So I really want to get his god cursed. So I'm hoping his god attacks here, even though that would probably mean a bump. Because I do want to curse him. We're sitting on top of their fort. We're going to finish up our site searching. We've almost got all of our lands site searched. We've only got a few left. We've got Yomi, which we can't site search. We've got the second forest up here, which isn't really going to be ours. We've got the Black Peaks, which isn't really ours, and then we've got the Broken Nose, which is right here. So we're going to site search this. It's kind of like the last of our unsite searched provinces. Kneecap. This one we also need to site search, and we'll be searching that this turn with Satano. So that will go a long way to... Basically, we're gonna... All our Dione, which have been in our land doing site searching, are now going to become mobilized for war. And I'm not totally sure what we're gonna do with them, but it's going to be fun. So, I think that's it for this turn, and therefore this episode. We have 13 minutes left. You know, we're gonna go ahead and do a 2-for-1 here. What turn is it? Turn 25? Let's go do turn 26. Okay, so a message from Kalisa. Monkey Jones, elves. Why did they have to be elves? It's funny. Okay, so we received a Dusk Dagger and a Flesh Eater and a Skull Mentor and an Alquill. Now I should probably mention why these are coming in. We have formulated Plan 2.0. And I was kind of thinking I'd talk about it next episode, but I think we're going to talk about Plan 2.0 in this episode for killing their Pretender God. He has flight, he can jump around anywhere, and it's so hard to figure out where he's going to move. Okay, we found 3 sites, holy shit. Earthblood Seepage, that's a 2 Earth Gem site. Mudfield, that's a 1 Earth Gem site. Graveyard of the Damned, 2 Death Gem. Really good, really good. So that's 5 gems from that one place. Pretty sick. Definitely will take that. This is a good blood hunting province for Lanka, too. 8,000 population is a nice, healthy population for blood hunting. Okay, so coming down here, we've got some battles. We are sending our stalwart Bakemono in here to fight a horde of giants. And the giants are very prepared. You would think maybe they wouldn't notice a small little Bakemono, but I'm guessing that he sounded his war cry and they all got into formation. And let's see how he does. He just stands there staring them down, and then boop. Okay. What a brave little Bakemono. Okay, so we are attacking here, and I thought his god would be gone, but okay, his god was blood hunting, is what happened. Because his god is... He really needs hell power. Hell power is like a drug for him now. Okay, so there goes some of the blood slaves. And constantly hitting his god like this is making it really hard for him to blood hunt. Okay, we killed the PD. Reinvigoration, a little horror mantis pops up. These are not very hard for him to kill. But you know, it's possible they could like kill his vine shield or something like that. Okay, and we kill all of his blood slaves. Get wrecked. Okay, and then we run like little chickens. Okay, they jump up and fly. Jump up and fly. A little horror pops out, another horror pops out. Okay. Can't ask for too much more there. So, it did not seem like it was going to be good, but turns out it was pretty good. Our raid was successful. Our little raiders did not get detected, so when you see a raid, you see this little pillage icon pop up in the province where it happened in. So anyway, that was successful. Yeah. We killed all his blood slaves. If he had moved, we would have taken it. So, yeah. I kind of want to show you, let's talk about research again. It's been a little bit since we talked about it. We've got a fair number of hammers. We've got one hammer, and then one hammer here, and I think we might have one more hammer here. We have come up with a few plans. One of the plans, and the reason we're making these ranger boots, is if you have noticed, there is a large Nephil army coming up this way. And this Nephil army is going to kill Sbalba. We're quite sure of it. We haven't seen any of the battles. We don't have too much good intel. But we're pretty sure it's going to happen. And nobody on Team Lanka Yomi is very happy about this. If anybody's going to take this moon, we're going to take this moon. We're going to make this moon great again. But we weren't going to do it quite yet. So now basically we're going to have to... We don't want... The last thing we want is for Niflheim to kind of take this planet and have time to fortify it and all that. So we're starting to make plans to mobilize to kick them off. And keep it for ourselves, of course. So we're going to be sending this demon army up through here to potentially contest. I'm also... But what this means in the bigger sense is we're going to be at war with Niflheim and Kalem. So we're building a lab here. Once this lab is built, I'm going to move... I probably should have moved him here this turn, but I didn't. Anyway. I was thinking Black Servant is Death 1. Anyway, it's Death 2, but we're going to move him here, and then eventually I'm going to move another Dione here, or we'll give him something. And then we are going to cast Black Servant, which is this spell right here. It's only Conjuration 1, Death 2, 5 gems. You get a very, very stealthy Black Servant commander. On that Black Servant commander, we are going to put stealthy items, like a Ranger's Boot. I'll just show you the stealthy items. There's a Ranger's Boot, which gives you Stealth 20. There's a Ranger Cloak, which gives you Stealth 30, and these are all very easy to access. They're only Construction 2. And the final one, and I haven't built it yet, would be this one, which is the Cat's Eye Amulet, which gives you another Stealth 20. And this is a miscellaneous slot. So we're going to put that all on a very stealthy... And this guy has 60 stealth to start with. But in addition to all of that, we're also going to put this lucky little trinket, which we've just been keeping around in a tightly sealed treasure box inside the Yomi capital so that it's disease that does not spread through our land. But we're going to put this on them. And then they will be 130 stealth Bane Venom Charm carrier. And we didn't want to do it too soon because, I don't know, first of all, it's kind of evil. I mean, everybody hates getting Bane Venom Charmed, especially when you get your capital Bane Venom Charmed. And we're definitely going to be Bane Venom Charming people's capitals. So, specifically this guy's. It's actually one of the things, these guys are not very good patrollers. They kind of struggle with that. I mean, they can get some things through, like wolves and other things which are okay, but, yeah. So, we're gonna go send this guy down, find his capital. I'll probably look on the map editor, and it doesn't tell you whose capital is where, but on some maps that have fixed starting locations like this one, you can just see all the possible capital locations. And so I think it's probably like right here or here or something. Anyway, we'll find it and then come over and sit on it with our black servant. And yeah, that will be kind of evil. But anyway, that's one of the plans. And that's just because we're going to be going to war over here. The other thing is, as we mobilize Dione down in this direction, we are going to get them to deal with these skin shifters, which actually shouldn't be too terribly hard. We probably just need... let's take a look at their stats real quick. Niflheim Bobistu. I know I'm like looking right past it. Okay, Winter Oak. So here we go. These guys, they hit for 25 piercing damage, which is kind of a lot. They also, I think they go Berserk in their second form. I'm not 100% sure. I think they do. Or maybe they don't. No, I don't think they do. So, and they have higher damage output in their second form. I don't know how much more. Probably not too much. But this is enough. If you have high 30s protection, you can kill all of them. So if we take a Dione and we give him some fatigue reducing gear, we give him 2 braces of protection, we give him... This might actually be Shademail Hauberk, just because I want to be able to sneak up on them. And like do one important big battle when they have absolutely no reason to expect it. The hat kind of doesn't matter. We can give him a Horde Helmet just so we kill him a little faster. I don't think we'll go shields here. I think we'll probably go... They can only fit 1 per square because they're size 4. So we could do a bit more reliance on defense. But we'd probably just get very killy items like a Flesh Eater and... I'm not sure. Probably not Bane Blade. Are they? They're not very high protection though. Probably just something that has a ton of damage. I'm not even sure, and I'm not going to go through it with you on this video, but I'll figure something else out. The important thing is they just have more protection than these guys can ever get through with their damage. And that's actually not too hard. So we'll do that. We'll probably stealth him over here. And then he'll just pop up while they're sieging their cap and kill them all. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, if he's on his cap, we'll be able to see the turn where he broke the walls, and we could do it then. These guys are not going to break the walls terribly quickly. I mean, they have reasonably high siege for their, for the type of unit they are. But... like 4.5, but there's not very many of them. There's only, let's say, 40, right? So that's 160 siege strength. It'll take them 4 or 5 turns to get through it, probably. So, anyway, that's another one of our plans, is to come in here and ambush them while they're trying to take Zabalba's cap. We don't have any peace treaty or anything with Niflheim or Kalem. And then our final plan is our most devious, and I've been saving this one for those of you who stick around to the end of the episode to listen. One of the most important things you can do with Yomi it's something you almost need to plan on doing, and you definitely need the site search as much air as you can. You can see we haven't done a great job of it, but I've just got Lanka, and then we've gotten really lucky with sites. I really need to air site search, or site search more air on my lands, but we've had other things we've been doing. So one of the things you do definitely want to do is air empower Dione, and that is going to be our plan. So this guy, Satano, is going to be our first air empowered Dione. He's going to come over here to this lab. We have plenty of air gems. He's going to air empower, which if you already have one in a path, getting to 2 is actually pretty economical. In a lot of ways, it's the same cost as an item would be. So don't sweat it too much. Air empowering a Dione is a pretty damn good use of air gems. Now later, once we have an air empowered Dione, we can get a Daitengu, which are going to be air 3, and we get a bunch of these sacred warriors to go with them. This is a better use of air gems. So once you get this, you probably still want a Dione or 2 empowered, just because having 1 or 2 on the map that they cannot expect where that guy is going to come and strike them, and it can kill any medium-sized army. In the magic phase, it's a huge value, more valuable than Daitengu even. So, but you don't need many of them, because once you have 1 or 2, then your opponent's going to stop moving around where armies can be picked off that way. And then what you need is you need the Daitengu to make your big sieging demon army strong, because these guys can drop fog warriors and mass flight. So anyway, so the plan is we're going to empower this guy in air. We also have another dude up here. He's going to empower in air also. The thing is, we're going to give both of them lifelong protections, and then we're going to have them kill this guy's pretender god. And, I mean, not just lifelong protections. It's going to be Flesh Eater, Dusk Dagger, probably a cold resistance helmet, shock resistance armor, probably reinvigoration boots. Then, I think I was thinking a bracer of protection and then lifelong protection, but I think what we're actually going to do is a burning pearl, which will give me plus attack and lifelong protection. And if we do that, we will be very killy. But we worked out the math. So Lanka doesn't have enough blood slaves to forge me a lifelong protection this turn. If he did, he would forge it this turn, and I would move this guy back here. So instead, we have to wait. The other thing we have to wait for is for me to finish Enchantment 4, but fortunately I will be finishing that this turn, and that is going to open up Cloud Trapeze, which is an Air 2 spell. So he's going to go ahead and take his turn here in Site Search, and hopefully we find something, and then after that, he's going to zip down here, empower, and the turn he's done empowering will be the turn that I receive the lifelong protection from Lanka. And the thing that I was really struggling with, too, as I was doing all the testing to figure out how to kill this super combatant, is that the best super combatant builds I could come up with, the very best, would still die 25% of the time to this guy, and he would escape another 25% of the time. I would only kill him 25% of the time. And the problem with that is twofold. One is I invest a fair amount into each of these Dione, and so each time they die, it's pretty painful. The second reason that it's a problem is he'll wise up to what I'm doing, and he won't let me do it again. I can already tell this guy's too smart to fall for the same mistake twice, and he's playing very conservatively. And the last thing I want to do is just scare this guy into his capital or anything. Well, not the last. That wouldn't be the end of the world. But I don't really... I'd rather kill it. So how are we going to guarantee we kill it? Well, it's going to be Dusk Daggers and Flesh Eaters, and 2 Cloud Trapezing Dione with lifelong protections. What that should do is it will surround him with imps. The imps will keep him from even casting all his spells. He won't be able to get his scripts off. They'll kill his blood slaves. They'll surround him enough where they'll start to get his repel penalty and harass penalty down for his defense. And then meanwhile, my 2 Dione with 2 very high damage weapons are going to just tear him to pieces. So that is the plan. It should work. There's a chance that it doesn't. But it's a very small chance. And it works so well in the tests I've done that even the chance... They never kill him in any of my tests I've done. I haven't lost Ione yet for this particular variant. And it's very rare that he routes. And it's very easy for this guy to route because he's got a ton of HP. He's being attacked by people with fear. My Dione have fear. And he's got Boots of Flight. So if he wants to run, he just hops up and goes. And he's got super... I mean, he's really hard to kill. So he's got usually a pretty big window to run. So anyway, we have come up with our nefarious plan. We have to wait some turns for it to manifest, but I figure I'd tell you about it now. So when you see these items coming in, you're like, why am I getting these items? Anyway. Events, we had some good events this turn. 6 Earth Gems, nice. More Earth Gems, more Fire Gems, more Air Gems, an Enchanted Shield. Not sure if I'll make use of that or not, maybe. 400 and something gold. And then down here, 1,200 gold. Hello, a Mirror of False Impressions, which actually is a pretty good item. If I want to hide the fact that I'm attacking, it can be really good. So, it makes your army, I think, 20 less. And then a fair amount of gems. So we got a ton of Earth Gems from that, too, which is pretty sweet. I think, probably not this turn, probably next turn, I'm going to go ahead and give some Earth Gems to Lanka. Oh, I don't think I talked about it last episode. I'm actually going to... Okay. Last turn, I sent Lanka... Okay, so I sent a message to Zabalba saying, how's it going over there? See Neefel getting the move on you. I'm sending my Blood Slaves that I have and then my Death Gems to Lanka. And then let's go back and we'll just check the last turn real quick. So turn 25. I think, yeah. Okay, so this turn I sent another 20 Death Gems to Lanka. You can see I'm just feeding him tons of Death Gems every turn. And then 50 Fire Gems. So these 50 Fire Gems, we are going to go ahead and empower his Disciple, the Raven of the Underworld, which is Death 5, Astral 6, I believe. Anyway, so we're going to empower him in Fire, and that way he can do Fire Shield, which is kind of the only immediately useful thing it can do. Later, it will be able to do Phoenix Fire. We might go ahead and empower it again, so it doesn't have to carry Fire Gems around with it. The other nice thing... Well, no, we already have access to that. But, you know, Deathfire is a good cross path for the Death Booster. And then we are going to empower it in Earth, which is why I kind of mentioned it. Because we're starting, especially with all those events, we're starting to get a surplus of Earth Gems. And, whoops, that's my next turn. We're starting to get a surplus of Earth Gems, so I'm probably going to send him Earth Gems probably next turn. Because this guy, once he gets that Earth Empowerment is huge for this. It's going to open up Iron Skin, and we have a Shock Resistance Bless, so we don't have to worry about the Shock Malice, really. If we're in Friendly Dominion, it's also got Temper Flesh. So this guy, I think it's at 300-something HP now, he was telling me. Because it gets more and more HP every turn. If it's in a place that has corpses, which, if you're a blood hunting nation, you usually have an abundance. So yeah. Anyway, once it gets empowered in Earth, it's going to be quite nasty. I mean, we'll just talk real quick about the things it can do. It can do Body Ethereal, then it can do Iron Skin, then it can do Temper Flesh, and then it can do Fire Shield. And then it can do Astral Shield after that. Basically, very, very few things are going to kill it. Especially if they're not expecting it, and once he gets Teleport at Thaumaturgy, 4? 3? Then he can start doing Magic Phase attacks with it and wiping out armies. So, yeah, that will be kind of huge. I'm pretty sure that would be able to kill a bunch of skin shifters. Depends what the Geeches are casting. If they're doing Skelly spam, maybe not. But then again, maybe it would. Thing is, it's flying, so it can jump back and hit the casters. They can do things like Hand of Death, which are pretty high damage armor negating spells, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm kind of waxing on long enough. We'll talk real quick about the moves. Few things this turn. So this guy apparently is trying to blood hunt, and I'm going to count on him blood hunting again, and how I'm going to count on it is I'm going to go ahead and move this guy, who is my Dione. He's got unequaled obesity, so he's got a ton of HP and strength, which is pretty good, but we're not really going to use it. We're just going to have him waltz in with some death gems, do Summon Earth Power, Spirit Curse, Iron Skin, Legions of Steel, Hold, Fire Closest. And what this will do is basically guarantee that he doesn't get one hit, or even hit for enough damage to cause an affliction. And importantly, just launch Spirit Curse, which is going to put Curse on this guy, which will basically make him take afflictions at a much higher rate. Yeah, and that way, when I Cloud Trap these dudes in, they'll be even more likely to kill him, and then when they kill him, they will cause afflictions. So yeah, we're playing for keeps here. On one hand, I really like this Fomoriya player. I like how he thinks. Clearly, he's got some very interesting thoughts, which, so far as I can tell, I haven't seen other people do any builds like this in the Dominions community. So, very smart dude, and very ballsy, saying I'm going to come as a one player into a Disciples game. But, you know, if he started in a different area where people were going to be weaker to this strategy than Lanka and I are, I could totally see him eating a nation, and then he would, as soon as he's worth 2 nations, he could probably go ahead and eat a third, and I could see him being a contender and even winning. There are some disadvantages even once you eat another nation. Like, you're not going to have the same kind of magic diversity as other nations will, because they basically have the magic diversity of 2 nations, and you only get 1 pretender god versus other nations or other teams which are going to have 2. So even once you expand in territory, not quite equal. And then the other nations are also getting 2 nations worth of cap-only stuff. You're only getting 1. So it never fully balances out, but this is strong, and we still haven't even seen the Fomorian Giant kits coming out, which I'm sure he's planning on. So I do hate doing dastardly things like this, but this is, yeah, we've got to kill this guy now, or we're going to be in trouble. So anyway, this guy's coming in with Spirit Curse. We've got some dudes coming in over here just to get out of dodge, because I have a strong feeling we're going to lose this fort this turn. This guy's going to come up here and give gems to the Death General. And then these guys... Okay, no, that's it. This guy's coming down to Scout. I do want to get... Lanka's also starting to get some of his cap-only thugs in thuggable condition. And I do want to get the Scouts out so we can start... I'm going to be Cloud Trapezing for his Pretender. But Lanka is going to be Cloud Trapezing to do deep raiding. So, anyway. I think that's about it for this turn. Let me see if there's anything else that's really super noteworthy. Forging more hammers. You can see we're researching. We've got Skull Mentors and Alquils. I'm putting items on these guys even though they're just researching and forging, just to kind of start building kits. So I can kind of see it rather than just having them in my inventory. We're searching for air here. It's a mountain province, so there could be some air sites. What else? Okay. We're going to talk about this next episode because we're out of time. But I'll just say I'm moving a mage here with a bunch of demon. And maybe I already have talked about it in the past. I can't quite remember. But anyway, book it for next time. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Wish me luck. Let's hope we curse this Pretender God in the next episode. And see you next time.